Yo, what is going on everybody over on One End Gaming? This is Crimson. Today what we are going to be bringing you guys is going to be a triple nuclear by Rocco on Combine with the Kuda SMG. It's not only with the Kuda, he also does pick up multiple weapons throughout the gameplay. I believe throughout the first half, you guys are going to be seeing him pick up a Shiva, so he's using that as well. And I believe throughout the second half, he also does pick up an HVK. So it's not only with the Kuda, it is also picked up with multiple weapons. So that's pretty cool. And I guess that just adds for more entertaining gameplay in the background. Now, this gameplay is an uplink, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been wondering why some of our recent gameplays have primarily been an uplink in full parties. And the reason for that is because a lot of players in our clan prefer to play this game mode over Domination, where Domination in Black Ops 3, the spawns flip quite a bit, and it basically just creates for an annoying game overall where the spawns are going back and forth and you're basically just running back and forth across the map each time, and there are quite a few spawn flips in Black Ops 3's Domination where even without adding pressure they will flip, where I personally myself play Domination, but obviously not all my gameplays are going to be going up on the clan channel. So if you guys don't like uplink gameplays and full parties where there's a constant hater up, then I'm sorry, but it's not really about how impressive it is nowadays. When it comes to gameplays, it's about how entertaining it is, and personally, I think it's entertaining, and from the ratings and views on the past couple of videos, I'm sure you guys find this entertaining too, but that's just a quick introduction to point out why we play uplink, and for those of you guys who may not like why we play uplink. So that's just pretty much it for the gameplay. Like I said, it's done by Rocco. His link will be down below. I don't believe he actually has a YouTube channel, but he does have a Twitter, so if you guys want to hit him up with a follow, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. You guys can ask him questions about class setups or just Call of Duty in general, and I'm sure he'll hit you up with a reply. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the commentary, my link will be there as well. So let's get into the commentary topic. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is graphics within video games and how they have evolved from basically the 60s or the 70s, where our parents were first born, compared to now in 2015. So I'm not really sure when video games were exactly invented. I'd have to Google that, but if I would have to guess, I'd believe it would be around the 50s or the 60s, somewhere around there. I may be completely wrong, it may be even the 40s, but I highly doubt it was back then. So the reason why I came up with this commentary topic is because I have showed my parents what I play before, and every time they come in and check what I'm playing, they always say that the graphics look so crazy compared to what they used to play and how it looked like a movie, and I thought that would be pretty interesting to talk about. So basically, my parents were born in the 60s, the late 60s, and what they basically used to play were those games where you had to point a gun at the TV screen and hook it up to your console and basically just shoot, targets or animals or whatever it may be, which, as, crazy as that sounds, nowadays in Call of Duty, we're playing games where, we have war machines where we can blow people up and, tear their limbs off, and there's tons of blood and gore, but that's besides the point. So it's pretty crazy to see how much graphics have changed since like the 60s or 70s compared to now, and how technology has changed as well. So obviously, not everyone plays video games just for the graphics. I mean, if you look at a game such as Minecraft, that's one very famous game that isn't primarily played for, the graphics, seeing as mainly it's all pixelated. I'm sure they have improved the graphics over time, but the point is, not everyone plays video games for graphics. But when it comes to Call of Duty, I mean, the graphics have always been pretty solid since basically Call of Duty 4, and ever since the current generation consoles, the graphics have been even better. And I think that a game that has good graphics, as long as the game runs smoothly, can enhance your experience, because as I said, not every game is about graphics. I mean, my favorite Call of Duty would probably have to be Modern Warfare 3, and one of the best Call of Duties out there would probably have to be Call of Duty 4, where that game didn't really have the greatest graphics of all time. They weren't terrible, but they definitely were not great. And I mean, that's still considered one of the greatest Call of Duties of all time. But ever since Call of Duty Ghosts, as bad as a game as it was, and as much as people disliked it, it probably had some of the best graphics on current generation consoles, where a lot of people didn't really pay attention to just because the maps on the game were so bland. But if you take a look at footage from Call of Duty Ghosts on YouTube from Xbox One or PlayStation 4, the graphics are absolutely insane, and ever since, they've been pretty great within Call of Duty with Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. And as I said, of course not graphics do not mean everything to everyone, but they still enhance your experience overall and just make you want to play because, you know, you look at the game and it looks nice. So I think it would be pretty crazy for our parents' generation to play the games that we play nowadays, and for our generation to go back and play the games that they once did, because, as I said, you know, our parents can't really, you know, comprehend how crazy technology has changed since, you know, what they played. And, you know, it would be kind of weird for us to go back and play such a game that had, like, you know, terrible graphics back then. I'm not trying to, you know, say that video games back then were bad, but they were by means nowhere near as good as, you know, they are now graphic wise. So, like, that's pretty insane to think about, honestly, because, like, when I play video games, I really don't think very much of it. I think that, oh, these graphics, you know, they're really, you know, they're great, but that's not really why I'm playing. But if you truly do think about it, it's pretty insane. And so I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier in the video or not, I completely forgot, but there are quite a few examples on Google to compare to how much graphics have changed over time. If you search up on Google, Tomb Raider graphics evolution from 1993 to 2015, you guys will see the character evolution, and it's actually pretty crazy to look at, honestly. And overall, the graphics have changed a ton, and especially on each console, where, you know, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 were actually pretty solid when it came to graphics when those consoles came out back in 2007 or 2006, and now since PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have came out, they're even better, where, of course, PlayStation 4 does have slightly better graphics than the Xbox One, but by no means am I trying to start a console war or anything like that. I just think it's absolutely crazy to think about how much graphics have changed over time since, you know, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or maybe even like 30 to 40 years ago, all the way up to now, how crazy technology has been and how much better it's going to improve from here on out, if you think about it, because, I mean, it's 2015, and I've mentioned before in one of the previous commentaries I've done over here that video games are one of the biggest growing markets within the world right now, and, you know, tons of people are playing, so it'll be cool to think about how much graphics will be improved 5 years from now. So that's just pretty much my commentary topic for today. I'm sorry if it was a little bit all over the place. I actually just kind of woke up, so that's why I may be a little rusty, but other than that, I really hope you guys did enjoy this gameplay. Like I said, it's done by Rocco. His link will be down below, and if you guys did enjoy any of the commentary, my link will be down there as well. And other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and I'm out. Peace.